Hi, Speaker Cooper here, and we're continuing our series, Who Makes Our Democracy Work? And today I'm joined by Dr. Philip Massolin. Dr. Massolin is the Clerk of Committees. Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure, Mr. Speaker.
Now, I understand you're a table officer, and so that means during question period, you sit down in front of the speaker. There's a few people that sit around that table. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what everybody does there?
Absolutely, Mr. Speaker. We're all table officers. We all dress in these robes like this, and what we all do is provide procedural advice to you, the speaker, and the other presiding officers, and all MLAs. We're a nonpartisan group.
There's a number of different people down at the table there. Do you all do the same job? And what do you do during question period that might be different during the regular debate in the House?
We all do certain things in common. We all provide procedural advice to you, the Speaker, and the other presiding officers, the Deputy Speaker and the Deputy Chair of Committees, and to all MLAs. We also time debates, who spoke in debate, the MLA who spoke in debate, and for how long. And we all take part in recorded votes or divisions. We're different in the sense that of the 7 table officers, 3 are lawyers and 3 are non-lawyers, and then there's the clerk of the assembly. So the lawyers have a different role than the non-lawyers. The lawyers are responsible for making sure that amendments to bills or motions are in order, and they provide their legal expertise in that regard. They also help draft private members' bills, the proposed legislation, whereas the non-lawyers take part in the record-keeping function. We time question period. You ask what we do during question period. And the lawyers have a bit of a different role during question period.
Right, so now obviously the Legislative Assembly only sits for about 60, 65 days a year. There's a lot of other year, and you're the Clerk of Committees. What does the Clerk of Committees do when they're not inside the chamber?
Right, so there's a lot that's going on when session is not in, Mr. Speaker, and so what the Clerk of Committees does is oversees the 9 standing committees of the Assembly, and I oversee the group of committee clerks who clerk the committees, provide administrative and procedural support, and then there's a small group of researchers who provide research briefings and that sort of thing as well.
Oh, that's amazing. And what did you do to get to the Legislative Assembly? They don't call you doctor for no reason, so what was your educational background?
Well, my educational background is in history, Canadian history, so I have a PhD in Canadian history from the University of Alberta.
So normally I'm the biggest nerd in a room, but when we're together, we might share that title. Is that what you're telling me?
That's right. Don't take me on a Trivial Pursuit.
One of the neat parts about this segment is learning about the people of the Legislative Assembly. So tell us something about yourself. What do you like to do in your spare time? When you're not at the office, what sort of things do you get up to?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm a big fan of racket sports, so I love tennis, and I play that in the summer, and then I play squash in the winter.
Sounds like racket sports are like a prerequisite to be a clerk around here. Thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate you, and thank you so much for all the work that you do.
Thank you.